Hello and welcome. Let's discuss today's important current affairs. Home Ministry has direct states to conduct a civil defense drill. Civil defense drill. After 1971, India is conducting this civil defense drill first time. And situation, everybody knows that why it is happening. But in his order of civil defense drill, government has made certain more things. India lacked a culture of preparedness. So we lack in the preparedness culture. So ministry want India should prepare. And it is under broad national security strategy. So under broad national security strategy, country like India, who is consistently facing a internal and external threat, India should have their own strategy, and this strategy not just be preventive or countering that thing. The preparedness is very important. So for the purpose of preparedness, government have ordered the mock drills. These mock drills comes under Civil Defense Act 1968. So under Civil Defense Act 1968, Ministry of Home Affairs have ordered to perform certain drills. For example, you have to be ready in order of sudden bombardment, blackouts. So how to prevent that situation, or how to prepare yourself in such a way so that you can mark yourself safe from any kind of the man-made disaster. But such preparedness also helps us to prevent ourselves from harm in case of even any natural disaster. So in the broader context, this event of drill is going to develop a culture of preparedness in the India. Russian president have called Prime Minister Modi and he assured Russia have a full support. Russia is going to provide full support for India's action against terrorism. And this is the reason why a country like Russia called a natural ally. Europe is talking about balancing the things. Other countries are saying it, India can take action, but India have to restrain itself to go for further escalation. But there are few countries who always helped India. They stand with India in all kind of the situation. And this is again going to happen when Russian president have called to Narendra Modi. In fact, 9th of May, which is celebrated as a victory day by Russia in the context of the win against Nazi Germany. And this year's victory parade was special because our Prime Minister was invited for the event and he accepted that invitation. However, in the aftermath of 22nd of April, heinous attack on Indian tourists, Prime Minister have cancelled this meeting and his visit to Russia. And in the place of Prime Minister, now our Defense Minister is going to represent India. In fact, India also have invited Vladimir Putin for celebrating 80th year of India-Russia bilateral relations. For all these purposes, in fact, recently Russia have also allowed an emergency sale of Russian surface-to-air 𝐾𝐞-S system for Indian Army. So, in this context, whenever India have a need, any kind of the need which can be helpful for India, it is always provided by Russia. And this is why it is right to say to call Russia as India's natural ally. This news is also very important. A probe panel files a report on discovery of half-burned cash at High Court Judge's home. We all know that Justice Verma's home was in news because half-burned cash was found as in home. And in the aftermath of this event, Chief Justice of India has initiated an in-house inquiry. So under this in-house inquiry, the 3 judges panel was formed and they have submitted their report. For your understanding, let's briefly understand how this in-house committee works and how they inquire. If any complaint against the judge is received by President or Chief Justice of the High Court or the Chief Justice of India, then in that case, Chief Justice of India can initiate a preliminary inquiry against that judge. Generally, this preliminary inquiry is conducted by Chief Justice of concerned High Court from where the complaint has came against the judge. Once the Chief Justice of the concerned High Court, for example, in the case of Justice Verma, the report was submitted by Delhi High Court Chief Justice, and on the basis of that preliminary report, Chief Justice of India have formed a 3-member committee which is comprised of Chief Justice of Himachal High Court, Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court, and the Judge of Karnataka High Court. So, yesterday, the committee has submitted its report to the Chief Justice of India. Now, after going through that report, 2 possibilities are there. If committee have found that the issues which was raised against the judge was minor in the nature, then all the charges will be dropped and he can resume his judicial service. But if it is found of gross misconduct, then Chief Justice can ask the concerned judge to either retire or resign, or FIR can be filed against the judge. If judge is going to defy, then under Article 124(4), maybe the process of removal of the judge can be initiated. India has already suspended Indus Water Treaty with the Pakistan, and India has started doing all the necessary work. What Indian government have said that earlier, that they will make sure the water cannot be misused and blood and water cannot flow together. In this context, 2 important dams in the Indus water river system, Baglihar Dam and the dam on Neelam Jhelum. So under this, India has started clearing the silt which is deposited in the dam area, and by clearing that silt, India is able to store more water in upcoming months. Under Indus Water Treaty, that exercise can be done only in the month of August. But now, because Indus Water Treaty is suspended, India is doing this process right now, and initially India has released the water. So once the water is released, sudden flow of water may move towards Pakistan. That may create lot of inconvenience for the Pakistan. But such kind of inconvenience maybe look like unethical, but the country like Pakistan, they do not understand the language of ethical and unethical. They only understand the language of unethical practice, which they are very familiar with this. So India, as a last resort, took the step of taking Indus Water Treaty out of the context, means Indus Water Treaty no more in the action, and now India has started the process tit for tat, means now India is going to focus to stop the water or divert the water, and under that process, India has already started releasing the water. Once the water is being released, then the process of clearing the dam area will be initiated, and under that process, by the month of August, India will be capable of storing more water and releasing less water in the Indus water side of Pakistan. India has recently launched 2 genome edited variety of rice, one which is developed by Indian Institute of Rice Research, Hyderabad, and that variety is known as Kamla, that is DRR Dhan 100. Whereas the other variety of rice that is developed by Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, and the name of this rice variety is Pusa DST rice. So Pusa DST rice, Kamla DRR Dhan 100, they are the 2 varieties of the genetically modified rice is introduced by the government of India. However, certain groups, especially the civil society group, which are having a motto of genetically modified free India mechanism, they have started protesting, and they have said that they are going to take up this matter to the court if government is not going to listen. According to them, genetically modified organisms are not good for the health of a human being, as well as they are also not good for the environment. So in this context, government of India should rule back, otherwise issue will be escalated to the court of law, and then maybe government have to step back. So this is a kind of a escalation is going to happen, environment versus food security. So environment versus food security is again going to be in the center stage in the political spectrum of India. It was almost 10 years back when the issue of BT Brinjal have came into the picture, and after so much debate and discussion, issue was settled to certain organism. But again, it is being pushed by introduction of Dhan 100 and Pusa DST, two varieties of rice introduced by Government of India. For your exam point of view, you must know two few things. First, what is genome editing? You should go through that. What is genome editing? Apart from that, genome editing, you should know which research institute they have created these genetically modified mechanism. I repeat, one is developed by Rice Research Institute, Hyderabad, Indian Institute of Rice Research, Indian Institute of Rice Research, Hyderabad, whereas other variety is developed by Indian Agriculture Research Institute, Delhi. The variety which is developed by Indian Agriculture Research Institute, its name is Pusa DST, whereas the variety developed by Indian Institute of Rice Research, Hyderabad, that is Kamla, that is DRR Dhan 100.